Hello, MonstersAbound here, and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2 Mortal Empires, part 24 of my Wurrzag campaign, the Total War equivalent of a Saw film. That's right, watching me be slowly tortured over a long period of time. The enemy reinforcements have arrived at the side of the battlefield, and unfortunately for them, on my side of the battlefield, so they're going to get their head kicked in. Lovely stuff. Good stuff. Excellent. This is what I like to see. Lots of people dying who aren't me for a change. I'm going to chase down the handgunners, and meanwhile the main enemy army, I say main enemy army because it's, I'm going to be honest, it looks a bit sad. Little bit sad. Just the one lonely war wagon. War wagons are terrible, by the way. As much as I want to love the war wagons, they are complete garbage. That's sad, but there we go. You know, that's... Take that as you will. The handgunners getting mauled. Excellent. And yes, the reinforcements completely surrounded. Halberdiers fighting back to back. But not for much longer, because that's a very quickly shrinking circle of halberdiers. Yeah, where are you going to run, but guys, there's just nowhere to run. Absolutely nowhere to run. Okay, so now the enemy arm, well, the reinforcements are gone, basically. They are all dead. And the main enemy army is advancing. Advancing towards us. Look at this. So we're going to throw some rocks at it, because why not? No, it's the rocks. Rocks, mate. It's rocks. So there's Luther Huss again. This guy's got more lives than a bloody... I mean, what... but I love... God, look at the Amber Lord's antlers. That looks glorious. He looks great. What a guy. And really showing off the abs. That's, you know, a brave choice. But I feel like if you got it, flaunt it. I do. Not my abs. Rocks raining down. We've actually got some Savage Orc Biggins have chased a unit quite close to all of the missile units. So we're going to pull those back, and we're going to let our ball boys do the hard work, because frankly, it's about all I'm going to need. So we're just finishing off a unit of handgunner. Oh, Free Company Militia, sorry. Free Company Militia. I'm going to get my Morgrub's Mangy Marauders finish them off, because the ball boys are going to be busy. So we trashed the war wagon, the one lonely war wagon. Savage Orcs coming back to fight as well. Why not? You know, get stuck in, join in. Looks like Luther Huss is chasing us down. He's just mauled someone to death. Poor old chap. Taking a little bit of rock fire ourselves, but that's okay. Chasing down those missile units. There we go. Giving most of the infantry the slip. Infantry's a little bit slow, hasn't defended its missile units. The missile units then getting run down by the ball boys. How enjoyable. But finally the ball boy is going to come back to the fight. Luther Huss joining in as well. There's Luther. He was great in our Balthasar Gelt's campaign. He was pretty good then, wasn't he? And he is getting work done. Wurzag's coming in to help out, because he's just... I mean, Luther's just being a pain in the ass. So let's get rid of Luther. Luther is legging it. Off he goes. With the rest of his army. That was easy. Nice and easy. Right, well that's dealt with that little issue. I could sack it. Alright, we're going to sack it. Sack it, and then we will not have the movement to... Well, never mind. Alright, well... I will not. Volkmar is laying siege, but his I mean, the number of units he's actually... He's got barely any infantry. Unwise. Because he's on a horse. He's on a horse. He's not. They've got swordsmen and great swords, and that's about it. Now, with that in mind, they're going to really struggle to take that settlement. So we can probably... I mean, I won't worry about Doc Kraz too much. I think I probably need to cancel that, because likelihood not going to be able to hold on to it. So we'll do something like that. That's fine. Grimgor is on his way to lend some assistance. Or do I want him in the south? To be honest, I need someone down here because Queek is becoming quite the problem. And I don't... How am I going to deal with that?
Not my fault.
Lots of storm vermin. The warp lightning cannons. I mean, what's best for dealing with Skaven? I feel like maybe the Black Orcs, maybe not the best idea. Maybe goblins. Maybe our goblin army is what we need, because we've got some fast-moving units to deal with the artillery. Got archers to deal with. Yeah, I mean, we've got the fanatics to deal with big blocks of infantry. I mean, that could be legit. That could be quite a legit tactic, actually. That could well be a legit. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Let's... So we've got some armies up there, but they're not currently on the move. So maybe... I'm going to sacrifice the south at the moment to deal with the dwarves down here and the Empire up here. If we can... I mean, Galbaraz is going to be under siege very soon by Queek. I think I'm just going to have to just take it. I mean, the nice thing in Grokka here is an absolute beast in combat. 82 melee attack, 737 weapon strength. I mean, he's mean. He's very, very mean. I like that. But the idea of having to face organ guns, that many organ guns, does not fill me with happy thoughts. So I think this is fine. I'm going to send my war. I'm going off to Spike Peak. That's fine. We're going to go off to Spike Peak. We're going to see if we can, as long as we can hold on to Karak Asgul, I'm fairly happy. We've got a big garrison there, so that should help. Okay, sure. That's... I just feel like I don't have enough stuff in enough locations. I could maybe get another army on the go. I could get Azhag. I mean, it would cut into my income quite significantly. That's kind of the problem. Like, if I get another Lord. So let's say we do get Azhag, wherever the friggin' hell he is. There he is. So that's going to increase. So without recruiting anyone, he's going to cost me almost 4,000, and that's not including his upkeep and the rest of his army. Effectively, that means I'd go bankrupt in 10 turns. It just doesn't... Like, if it was going to cost me like 1,000, I'd be like, okay, that's doable. 4K? And then, of course, you add on, you know, how much the army's going to cost. And let's face it, I mean, if we have a look at... I mean, that's a cheap army. What about this one? And this is fairly cheap. So this army costs 6K. 6.6K. So effectively, Azhag could cost me about 10K a turn. I can't afford 10K a turn. Even with the amount of money I have, I can't afford 10K a turn. That'll be 4 turns and I'll be bankrupt. And that's, of course, not counting the fact that we're going to lose Khemri in a minute. So... We'll see if we can knock out some of these heroes. I'm going to leave that. Not going to worry about that. Grom is going to have, I don't know, like block? Damage walls. Sure, you can damage walls. That's Mount Squighorn. You're going to get defenses as well. Also going to get some money to try and help out with our hemorrhaging of our income. There's no point trying to defend that. We're going to lose some stuff, but that's okay. I'd prefer not to lose Galbaraz, but I mean, one of the nice things about Greenskin settlements is at least they don't actually give you much money anyway, apart from the gold mines, obviously. So actually losing a settlement isn't that big of a deal. Which is nice, I guess. Okay, let's see what the dwarves do. You're heading back to Spite Peak. That is not surprising. What I want to do is maybe take Akendorf. Do I want Akendorf? Not particularly. I don't particularly want Akendorf, but I feel like I need at least 2 armies up here to fend off, just in case. Because, I mean, theoretically, at the speed the enemy armies are hitting us, probably 1 army would do. But it could quickly get out of hand if we get like a couple of dwarf stacks. Say one of our, say our army up here gets wiped out. Suddenly we're in a lot of trouble. So 2 armies I think is really the minimum we don't need in the north, which means we only have 2 other armies. We've only got 4 armies to try and cover our entire empire. Normally that would be fine, because we wouldn't be attacked from all directions. But currently we have no allies apart from Sartosa, who are, let's face it, not doing the best. And also, we've got enemies all around us. I'm still not sure who the children of the old ones are. Okay, settlement besieged, raiding. Scarsnick's back. Good old Scarsnick. And we've got boar breeding. Armour for boar. Why have we got armour for boar? Oh, cool. Yeah, right. Okay, then we can get Squig riding. So that's going to give us some squigs. I'm going to send you over there. And we're going to try a little ambush. Let's try a cheeky little ambush. Let's see how that goes. I need to deal with that, but I don't have the army currently. There is Skarsnik. Right. So why can't I recruit regiments of renown?
Now's the time.
Is there none? Weird. Are there none left? Is that it? Have I recruited them all? Or are they all dead? Why can't I suddenly recruit regiments around? Am I going mad? You can always recruit them in your own territory, can't you? Okay. Right, well, let's get rid of you in favour of wherever Skarsnik is. There he is. Right. I'm kind of tempted to give the brass cleaver. But you are... Okay, let's give you an ogre blade. Dawnstone's fine. Helm with Discord's good. Potion of toughness is A-OK. That's all fine. We need the goblin shaman, who should have moved southward, but apparently wasn't. So you can come down here and help us out. That's all fine. Wurrzag, we're going to head straight for Stone Mine Tower.
Impossible.
Can we reach that in 2 turns? We can reach. So either they attack next turn, or we're on them.
Ready for murdering.
If I go there... oh, I can't... I need 50% to raid, don't I? Yeah. I think... I wish that Greenskins had like a raiding stance like Norska does, where they can just end their turn in a raiding stance. I feel like that would help. That would be a big help for the Greenskins, if nothing else. Mostly because it reduces your upkeep as well. Because one of the main problems I find with raiding is that the raiding income is almost never more than you get for the army. So effectively, by having an army raiding, you're still losing income. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because if you're offsetting some of the cost of your army, that's better than them just sitting around, for example. But realistically, you should be moving your army to attack the enemy. Raiding is sort of an afterthought. So having a stance where you could just end your turn in a raid is quite nice, because otherwise you'll spend, I mean, especially for the Greenskins, it's 50% of their move. So you're effectively giving up half of your movement to be able to raid, and it's almost never worth it. I mean, sometimes it is. I mean, obviously they get the raiding camp, so that's kind of slightly more useful. But a lot of the time, isn't really worth the extra movement. Okay, so we're laying ambush down there. We're on the move down there. Galbaraz under siege. Khemri is going down, unfortunately. There's nothing we can do about that. We just don't have any armies nearby. How long before we... 5 turns. I mean, they've held out bloody ages, but we just haven't had anyone to send down to help them out, unfortunately. I don't really... I mean, I just kind of want to keep an eye on what you're doing. So, you can stay there. No point upgrading any of that or that. Varenka Hills. I'm almost tempted to start upgrading some of this stuff, but I'm just not sure it's worth it. Fuck it. We'll upgrade that. Get defenses. Try and keep Grimgore around. I think that's what we need to do. Grom, can you kill that? No, you can't. Never mind. Good attempt. I want to keep an eye out for potentially any other Empire armies heading this way. I don't think there is any. They might attack Stone Mine Tower because Wurrzag is nearby. If they do, tough fight. But, I mean, those knights aren't really going to be able to get the work done that they need to, but there is a lot of them. So annoyingly, I had a crash, and during that crash they attacked Stone Mine Tower, and I fought and I lost. And to be honest, it took a while to win. I'm kind of thinking, do I even bother? If I march, can I not do anything? You know what? Fuck it. We're going to march. I'm going to march. Might be a bad idea. We're going to march. See if it makes any difference. If they attack Stone Mine Tower again, I don't think I'm going to bother fighting the battle, because one, I've already done it, and it was quite a grindy fight, and I kind of came out of it feeling like, what was the point, really? You know, we lost. Yeah, we killed about half the enemy army. Turns out hunters, the huntsmen, better than Savage Orc Araboys in melee combat. That was not something I expected, but there we go. I mean, the Savage... Yeah, okay, we're just going yeah, that was nowhere near as good as the fight. Okay, they raised the city. A little bit annoying. They raised it last time as well. I'll say, last time we did manage to do a fair chunk of damage. Oh, hello. Hello. Now, this didn't happen last time. Now, the only problem with this is it's a nice big long corridor, or firing corridor. So I'm not going to take that, because the idea of having to charge my way down an underway at 5 organ guns, frankly, is just bad. Just not that's not a good idea. So we're not going to do it. Basically, not going to happen. Now, with that said, yeah, I did do more damage to the enemy army at Stone Mine Tower last time. Could have done it again. Couldn't be asked. Couldn't be asked. I mean, it might make Wurrzag's battle easier, but I don't think Wurrzag's going to have too much trouble fighting that army anyway. So it just felt kind of like a waste of time, basically. And this is right. This is where it crashed last time. So I'm just going to auto-resolve this. And I know some people will probably lose their nuts over the fact I'm auto-resolving these battles. They'll probably go, well, you could do damage to the enemy army. Yes, I could. And what would be the point? Okay, didn't crash this time. That's good. What would be the point? Because realistically, I'm in no position to kind of capitalize on the damage I do to that army. They're just replenish. And then what? What's the benefit? So I'm just gonna not worry about that. Largug is dead. Sad. He did better last time. Never mind. It's I mean, he died anyway, but blah 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 blah. Fine. Right. We're going to block your army. We failed.
Let's take what should be ours.
Now I suspect. No, he's gonna fight me for it. Interesting. Obviously, he can't get away. Okay, we've got artillery. What's the battlefield like? Now, he does have a lot of cavalry, which is a slight issue. But equally, all of our boys are anti-large. So pummeling the shit out of his Reichsguard should not be an issue. Dealing with his huntsmen is going to be an issue, because they're quite nasty and anti-large. He also has a lot of heroes, and we don't really have a way of killing many heroes, so we need to get that done. Mostly taking out his knights. That's what we need to concentrate on. We're going to get some revenge for Stone Mine Tower. First up. That's, I mean, that Foot of Gork almost caught that Reichsguard as well. And Luther's back as well. He's got 0 health. And that's not like, that's I mean, basically a stiff breeze could kill him. Or, of course, a very mean glare. Yep, there we go. Luther is gone. I mean, I'm fairly sure he should have already been dead, but far be it from me to second guess what Luther's up to. Wurrzag taking a little bit of fire here, so we're going to get away. He's already got 102 kills. Most of them, of course, are great swords, I think. He took a huge chunk out of the infantry of that army. Now, obviously, had we not had the crash, and had we... Holy God, these guys look amazing. The stubborn bulls. Oof. They look great. That's a bit rude. Had we fought this army would be considerably depleted. I didn't. I think we're still going to be able to win it, frankly. I don't think it's going to make a jot of difference whether we defended that settlement or not. I say, I did my best to try and defend it. It went okay, but we were just overrun. Apparently, they're hunters, the huntsmen, very, very good in melee combat against our archers. Thought the archers would be able to deal with them. Apparently not. So, there we go. So we're taking a little bit of fire from all of the missile units and their cavalry. The cavalry are going to be the main threat. So we're going to defend our flanks, the unit Savage Orc Biggins and also our Boar Boys. And while we're doing that, we're going to send our infantry after the missile units, which isn't really ideal, but I feel like defeating the Reichsguard with the Biggins is probably the best option. See, the Reichsguard get... how did they get that charge off? Because that was... Okay, well, on the left flank, we've managed to lock down several units of Reichsguard with very little damage to ourselves. On the right flank, very similar. The Morgoth's Mangy Marauders giving this unit of Reichsguard the slip. In the meantime, turns out Great Swords very, very good at killing Savage Orc Biggins. I guess the Biggins just don't have the armor piercing to deal with it. With the Great Swords, just have a lot of armor, and they are anti-infantry as well. So basically, Great Swords pretty good at killing our Savage Orcs, which is less than ideal. Very good at killing the River Trolls as well. unfortunately. Some of our infantry chasing down those missile units, eventually getting hold of them, which is good. And our boar boys hunting down the Reichsguard, trying to lock them down into combat. They have been taking a lot of damage. We've got quite a good surround on them over there. These guys taking some missile damage, which is fine. The stubborn bulls, where are they? Are they over here, I think? Yes, over here. Now these guys, I mean, they look amazing. Look amazing. And they're doing quite well, actually. They are chewing through our boar boys. But I think our boar boys just slightly better. So I think we are slowly taking them down. That should be fine. Most of the enemy missile units being chased down by infantry, which is good, and we have managed to get the upper hand over most of the great swords. They're now running away. It's just the enemy characters left to kill. Now, fortunately, army losses are going to start taking effect. You can see morale starting to drop on a lot of these units as they run away. There we go. The Empire Captain starting to rout as well, and Volkmar will then break just as well, because frankly, I'm not entirely sure I would have actually been able to kill the bugger. He is a bit of a pain in the ass to deal with. And we've only really got Wurrzag in our army, which is fine. He's great. He's a caster, but he's not really capable of killing enemy lords very well anyway. And he doesn't really have the spells to deal with him either. So it's kind of a bit of a problem with our army. If we come up against an army with a lot of enemy characters, we could be in serious trouble. But overall, that's Volkmar heading for the hills. Yeah, I think it's safe to say Grey Swords are just better than our Savage Orc Vegans, which is a little bit upsetting, but never mind. Kind of used to it by now. Okay, Volkmar should run away, and I'm hoping we cannot reach him. Good. Okay, great. Now I could... I think it's fairly safe to colonise, because our enemies are basically not looking great, not looking in rude health, let's put it that way. Let's go and bop Ackendorf. Loot and occupy. And what we'll probably do, problem is that this is going to be, we could just send our Ward to just assault Dwarven settlements, just knock them down, just bring them down a peg or two. Just cause them some pain.
Send me to battle.
I could attack you, but I just don't know if it's worth it.
Wants me.
Let's hit Spike Peak.
I'll crush them all.
This is not in the Damas Kron.
I just don't have a good way of taking out those organ guns without just suicidally forward charging them, and that just seems like a terrible idea. I could run over there and see if I can get an ambush.
Come on. Now we're talking.
Let's see if that'll work. I'm not convinced, but I'll give it a shot. Oh, good. More rats.
Bad plant scheme.
More bloody rats. Okay, we need reinforcements in this army. This army's not too bad. I could just use a shaman, which I don't have. Valea's Sorrow, we can build up, because that's now kind of behind our lines. That's fine. I'm a bit worried about Karak Azul. We should be able to hit Spike Peak. Grab that. I don't know where I think Cherry Fresh is heading for. I think they're heading for Crooked Fang Fort. I think they've spotted the fact that it's undefended, and the AI does love an undefended city.
Wurrzag, the great green prophet.
Wurrzag, I'm gonna give you... I don't think that's worth it. I'm kind of tempted to go stand your ground. It's only 18 seconds though. I mean, fightiness +1. It's not like we really have a problem with fightiness because we're fighting so many battles that, and we're not in foreign territory either, so it doesn't really help. I could go Blade Master just to give him a little bit more. That doesn't really feel worth it. I mean, we've only got 2 more skill points, so I think I might go Blade Master just to beef up his attack a little bit. And Grimgore is level 20. Good old Grimgore. Deadly. I mean, you've already got so much melee attack. It barely seems worth it. More health. More health. You can't go wrong with more health. Like, just means you can take more damage. And Wound Maker for Borgots. For Borgots. Yeah, that for Borgots. That'll help out. I need to keep an eye on these dwarves.
I will not.
They're building up their armies. They're working on it. The Empire's been smashed here, but it feels like most of the Empire armies are actually coming down through past Fort Sol. So I need to keep an eye on that. I haven't been checking up what the Wood Elves have been doing recently. They've got Castle Carcassonne. Looks like they've been pushed back from Paravon.
Speak slowly. Your drivel is incomprehensible to me.
That's fair. You know, we are quite drivelly. Holy shit, Clan Wars are strength rank 3. The Dwarves are 13. Where's the Empire? 35. We have really kicked the shit out of them. They have lost a lot of their armies. However, Clan Moors are on the ascent. They have managed to capture, by the looks of it, the vast majority of the southeast corner of the map, which is not good news for us. So we're going to have to deal with that. I'm kind of...
Do not bore me, thing. I'll take Headspine for my trophy back.
Yeah, we're going to have to punch Queek a little bit to get him to give up.
Ready. I will hear your petition.
Come
but
on,
make no
Carl.
promises to act on it.
Come on, Carl. What about dwarves? Maybe the dwarves want to peace out with me.
One round. What brings
No.
you to the halls of my...
No one wants to peace out with me. It'd be really nice if you wanted to peace out with me. I could really use being peaced out with. Let's move Wallcracker up here. I'm hoping we get the ambush. If we can get the ambush... ambush? I'm not even speaking words properly now. I mean, a Ragnarok Spider would be good. Oh, look at that. We're losing so much money. Extortion rate. Yeah. I think I need to extort some people. Let's repair that. None of that's worth it. Okay. Fingers crossed we get the ambush. I really, really would like that ambush. That would be super good. Queek's attacking Galbaraz. Now, I might actually be able to hold the city. Potentially. I've got the Menace of Below. They only got one use of that. I think they've only got one use of that. I mean, might be able to do it. I mean, their clan rats... I mean, their storm vermin aren't great. They do have the warp lightning cannons, but again, we might be able to knock them out. I don't know. It's a bit up in the air as to whether we can or not, but I think it's definitely worth a shot. Because otherwise, I don't really know what I can do to stop Queek. I mean, at least it feels like his armies are like advancing very, very quickly. So if we can quickly like smash them, I mean, even if he takes Galbaraz, if he's heading northwards, eventually he's going to reach my front line from the wrong direction. But at that point, I can then kick the shit out of him, send him scurrying back, and hopefully go and retake my territory. However, it will probably be burned down because the Skaven tend to trash everything. I mean, they can spend their food to upgrade settlements, but I find the AI generally doesn't, so they usually start level 1. Which means my glorious level 5 settlements are going to end up all level 1. Which doesn't feel very good. So let's try to defend Galbaraz and see how that goes. But that's going to have to wait until next time. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode of the Wurrzag Campaign.